A trade is coming right now with Jericho Sims. With a fully healthy Knicks roster, Sims has no role on this team. And multiple NBA insiders have already confirmed that teams are contacting the Knicks right now for the availability of Jericho Sims and Mitchell Robinson to see if they can get either one of them via trade. But if you're reading the reports and looking at everything that we've been releasing over the last few days, the Knicks seem very content in waiting for Mitchell Robinson to return. So it doesn't look like they're racing to trade him. If the Knicks want to make a trade that holds on to their core, doesn't affect their core, but still allows them to make another move, that trade needs to be moving Jericho Sims. And according to a recent report that we have here today, these reports indicate that the Knicks are still actively taking trade calls about Jericho Sims, basically indicating that at some point very soon, Sims is going to be traded. We're going to break down all of these latest reports today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure you have notifications turned on. So that way, anytime we drop new content, you get notified. And now, let's get started. Update on Jericho Sims and the trade for New York and how that's going to look like. When the Knicks are at full strength, when the Knicks are looking like their best team, I don't think Jericho Sims is going to have a spot on this roster. Take a look at this team right now. The New York Knicks are third in the Eastern Conference. We're no slouch, and honestly, everybody in the league, whether you believe it or not, thinks the Knicks are contenders. With Jericho Sims, we don't really see him having a role on this team. Ever since Preston Achiuwa came back, Jericho Sims has been situational. Now, I am going to admit he did start a few games when Karl Anthony Towns was out, but that was only because we had a situation that we needed to address. Other than that, he would have never seen any time. And as we continue to get healthy and we get Mitchell Robinson back eventually, he's definitely not going to see any time. Reports indicated before, and we reported on it a couple of days ago, that Jericho Sims would be open to having more opportunities to play and showcase his abilities. I can tell you something for certain. Staying on this Knicks team, he is never going to have that opportunity. He's not going to have that ability because he's just not going to get the playing time. So the Knicks would be better off trading him to another team, freeing up a roster spot, and giving that spot to somebody else, a player that Tom Thibodeau trusts. And according to these recent reports from NBA Insider with SNY, Ian Begley, he's saying exactly that. Right now, as we are speaking, the Knicks are on the phone, on the lines, taking Jericho Sims trade offers, trying to understand what trade they should make to get Sims on another team. Let's break down these latest reports that we have here from Ian Begley. According to Ian Begley, the Knicks continue to listen to trade offers for Jericho Sims ahead of the February 6th trade deadline. This is his exact quote. I think they'll continue to listen on Jericho Sims up until the trade deadline. I don't know when. I can't tell you right now if a deal is definitely going to happen. But just the way things have trended to this point, I would be a little surprised if nothing happened. Begley continues here by stating, but we see that sometimes with the teams and players where the whole world thinks a deal is going to happen just because of various circumstances, and then it kind of fizzles out. But I do think that we're still at a point here, to quote Brian Windhorst, I think we'll still be in the deal zone for a while on Jericho Sims. I haven't heard anything otherwise that leads me to believe anything else. So Ian Begley, again, is confirming here that right now, New York is open and actively taking trade calls on Jericho Sims. And again, that indicates that he has played his final games with New York. He is not going to be back. Now, there's a number of reasons why he's not going to be back. I've broken it down a number of times. Playing time is one of them. Not really having Tom Thibodeau's trust. Riding the bench. Situational. That I mentioned he's an expiring as well, too. So if you really don't do anything with him now, he's going to walk later. You need to trade him now. It makes sense to trade him now. But you might be asking yourself, okay, Troy, you got me. I buy in. The Knicks need to make this trade. What are they getting for Jericho Sims? I would pray that Leon Rose is smart enough as a business individual that can fleece a team to give them back a player for Sims. But I don't think he's that lucky. Unfortunately, right now, the value for Sims is 1 second-round pick. Maybe they get multiple second-round picks, but right now it's looking like 1. But here's the thing. It's not so much of what that Jericho Sims trade does for New York, because if they just trade it for 1 second-round pick, that honestly does nothing for us. It gives us more assets, but nothing else. Or so it seems like if you're just taking a look at the trade and the things that we get back. How about the things that we get access to? Once you trade Sims, you get a roster spot. Once you trade Sims, you get access to more cap space. And also, we know come late February, early March, the Knicks are going to have access to sign another player to that 15th roster spot. So that opens up 2 roster spots. The Knicks can do multiple things to address this team, get talent on this roster, especially talent that Tom Thibodeau trusts. And here's exactly how they're going to do it. They're not going to rush to make any deal. Right now, they are waiting for Mitchell Robinson to see if he's going to be 100% healthy, to know what his status is. And the more they wait, the more clarity they get. So if they're going to make that trade for Jericho Sims, it's likely going to happen very close to the trade deadline, not right now. And the longer you wait, a team might get even more desperate, and who knows what they might give you for Jericho Sims on February 5th versus January 24th. We have to think about that, and I know the Knicks are thinking about that in any type of trade that they're going to go after. Once they move on from him, if they look at the buyout market, they're going to look at a number of different candidates. And I promise you, as much as people want to see the Knicks go to Westchester and sign a number of players from there, and trust me, I'm one of those players. You seen the number of videos I dropped? Moses Brown, Chuma Okeke, TJ Warren. Trust me when I say, I want the Knicks to go to Westchester as badly as anybody else, but they're not going to rush to do that. They're going to look at the buyout market first because they don't know who's going to end up being there. It might be a player that nobody expected, and it's a Tom Thibodeau player. If they find that guy, that player's getting signed. But if that doesn't happen, then they're going to go to Westchester, and they're likely going to call up TJ Warren. The other player, if they're looking to add another player after trading Sims, is either going to be Moses Brown or Chuma Okeke. And in my opinion, right now, if they're able to make a trade and get off of Sims, they believe Robinson's going to come back and play consistently, I'm signing TJ and I'm signing Chuma because they're athletic. They're wings in this league. They also can defend, they can score, and when you're speaking about TJ Warren, he's the best scorer in the G League. When you're speaking about Chuma, he is basically Josh Hart light if you have him on the Knicks bench. Why do I say that? Let's see. He's basically a walking triple-double every single game in the G League. Does he steal the ball? Yes. Does he play good defense? Yes. Is he 3-and-D? Yes. Those are the things that he can offer this team if New York adds him. And by the way, all of those characteristics and traits, they fit exactly what Tom Thibodeau is looking for in a player. Not only that, he has NBA-level experience. So he's not a rookie. He's not a veteran in terms of Chuma. He's not a veteran, but he has years underneath his belt. Tom Thibodeau should trust him. With TJ Warren, he's already a vet. So it already makes sense to call him up, use that roster spot, and play him off the bench. But I want to make sure something is very clear here. The Knicks can do all of these moves. They can trade Sims for the second-round pick, open up a roster spot, look at the buyout market, look at the Westchester Knicks, make the move necessary. But there is one person that's basically going to detail or dictate what's going to happen moving forward. And that's Tom Thibodeau. How is he going to use the talent once we get it on this team? Is he going to expand the rotation? Is he sometimes going to allow us to see what a TJ Warren bench-led squad looks like, where TJ is the one leading that 5-man off the bench, where he's getting most of those opportunities? Because you can't shut off or shut down TJ and what he's good at once you call him up to the NBA level. You have to maximize what he's good at, and a good coach is going to do that. Will Tom Thibodeau and this Knicks coaching staff be able to bring it out of New York? That's something I don't know yet. Will he be able to bring it out of TJ or Chuma or whoever we add to this team? That's something still up in the air. But you got to figure, If Tom Thibodeau has the players on his roster that he trusts, that actually can play a role for him, that add to the depth, why wouldn't he play them? It's not if they're going to trade Jericho Sims. It's when. Jericho Sims will be traded before the February 6th trade deadline. More than anything else, whether Robinson is traded or not, whether that actually happens or not, I'm not sure about that. But one thing I am more positive on than anything else is that Sims will not be a Knick after February 6th. The Knicks will make a lower level trade to help this team improve this roster and do it at a low cost. Why do I say that? Let's see. Who's the president of the Knicks? Oh, yeah, Leon Rose. What does he normally do? Oh, yeah, he normally makes good low-cost maneuvers. What do the Knicks need right now? Talent at a low cost that doesn't give away all our assets and doesn't break the bank. That equals Leon Rose. And that's why I'm expecting big things. And I do anticipate that Rose will do a lot for this Knicks team moving forward. Every single trade deadline, he has made the meaningful move to make this roster better. You're telling me now, this time around, he's not going to do it again? I'm sorry. That just doesn't sound like Leon Rose. Again, folks, it's not if the Knicks will make a trade. It's when. And it's not if the Knicks will trade Jericho Sims. It's when. If you enjoyed these clips from the live show, be sure to subscribe to the channel and have notifications turned on so you don't miss any new episodes or when we go live. Thanks for watching, Knick fans, and until next time, peace.